All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a high-tech heist, but in reverse. See, we're not stealing anything, we're catching the thieves. We're diving deep into how you can assemble a specialized crew of AI agents to hunt down financial fraud, a task that for humans is just mind-bogglingly complex. So let's get into it and see how it all works.
First things first, let's set the scene. Financial fraud isn't just some small issue. It is a massive, colossal problem. We are talking about billions and billions of dollars, all hidden away inside these enormous datasets. Honestly, trying to find one single fake transaction is like trying to find one specific grain of sand on an entire beach. The scale of it is just immense.
And, that really brings us to the big question, right? When all the evidence is buried under millions of perfectly normal, legitimate transactions, how in the world do you track down the bad guys? How do you spot that one little digital clue that gives the whole game away?
Well, the answer is pretty cool. You don't send just one person to do a job this big. You assemble a crew. But this isn't your average team. We're talking about a crew of highly specialized AI agents. Each one has a very specific job, and they all work together on one single mission: find the fraud. And that right there is the whole idea behind CrewAI.
Okay, so any great heist movie needs its crew of specialists, and our AI team is no different. Let's meet the agents who are going to help us crack this case. Each one has its own dossier, its own goal, and of course the skills to get the job done.
First up on the team, we've got the data collector. You can think of this agent as the team's reconnaissance expert. Its whole job is to go in, first, grab all that raw data, and I mean all of it, and just make sense of it. It loads up the massive data set, it profiles it, and basically gets the lay of the land for the rest of the crew. It's the one that gets the blueprints.
Next, meet the pattern recognizer. This is our detective. As soon as the data is all prepped and ready, this agent goes to work, just combing through every single transaction, looking for clues. And its specialty? Oh, it's an expert at spotting those telltale signs of fraud. Unusually high amounts, weird transfers, or cash outs that just don't feel right.
And finally, we've got the fraud reporter. This is the agent that puts the whole puzzle together. After all the evidence has been gathered and analyzed, the reporter's job is to take everything and compile it into a clean, professional, and, most importantly, actionable report. It turns all those complicated findings into something a human can look at and immediately know what to do next.
So, we have our crew. We know who they are. But, even the best specialists on the planet need a solid plan. So now, let's take a look at the mission blueprint, the specific plan of attack that's going to guide our AI crew from start to finish.
And the plan itself is actually beautiful in its simplicity. It's really just broken down into three main phases. First, the data collector goes in and lays all the groundwork. Then, the pattern recognizer goes on the hunt. And finally, the fraud reporter brings it all home. This step-by-step process makes sure nothing gets missed and that each agent is building on the work of the one before it.
And here you can see that perfect division of labor. Each agent is assigned one specific task that fits its expertise like a glove. The data collector handles loading, the pattern recognizer handles detecting, and the reporter handles, reporting. There's no confusion, no overlap, just pure coordinated efficiency. It's a well-oiled machine.
All right, the crew's been briefed, the blueprint is clear. It is time to put this team into action. Let's kick this thing off and see what happens when the mission goes live.
Now, here's what's so wild about all of this. After all that setup, defining the agents, outlining their tasks, the entire complex, multi-step operation is launched with just a single command: crew.kickoff. That's it. That's all you have to do. From there, the crew just takes over, executing the plan step by step, completely on their own.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. We're getting a peek under the hood here at the AI's actual internal monologue. I mean, look at this. You can see it's not just blindly following orders. It's creating a plan, it's reasoning, it's breaking down the problem, and figuring out the best way to approach it. It's literally thinking through the task at hand.
So the crew has done its job, the digital dust has settled. Now it's time for the most important part, the payout. Let's take a look at the final report and see what our AI crew actually managed to dig up.
So what do we get at the end of all this? Well, it's not just a simple yes or no answer. The crew delivers a whole intelligence package. You get a full profile of the data, a detailed list of every single suspicious transaction it found, and, crucially, the reasons why each one was flagged. It's the complete case file, all wrapped up.
And check this out. This is the kind of executive summary it produces. It just cuts straight through all the noise and gives you a clear, direct signal. This isn't just a pile of data anymore. It's a high-priority alert that tells investigators exactly where they need to look right now.
And let's just pause on that for a second. This entire process, sifting through millions of data points, finding these subtle patterns, and then writing a detailed report, it was all done autonomously. That is an incredible leap forward. It turns a giant mountain of raw data into a tiny molehill of actual, actionable intelligence.
So this brings us to one last really powerful thought. We just watched an AI crew expose incredibly complex financial fraud. But if they can do this, what's next? What other huge, messy data sets are out there just waiting to be analyzed? What other hidden truths are just waiting for the right crew to come along and uncover them?